What's up, guys? It's your boy Anime Boom, and I am back for another video, My Hero Academia. So we are in 2024. It's not 2015 anymore. So the state of My Hero Academia right now is really depressing. They're about to have a movie come out. Their next season is about to come out, season 7, and man, Demon Slayer, for example, and Jujutsu Kaisen. All I hear about is Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. Those animes are taking over, and I'm just like, what happened to My Hero Academia, man? Kids will not know that My Hero Academia at one point was looking like it was about to become the biggest anime. It was the biggest anime at a point. It was the biggest thing. Everybody was talking about it, was going crazy. And then, for some reason around 2020, just people just stopped watching My Hero Academia, man. 2020, 2021, it just changed. Something was different. Maybe it was the movies, but let's just talk about My Hero Academia, man, because I've already made the point. I just feel like My Hero Academia is just, it's going on too long. I feel like they lost their direction. My Hero Academia used to have it used to be a show that felt like, okay, they follow in a role, kid's underdog, he comes back and then he gets his superpowers and he eventually beats the bad guys and becomes the number one hero. That was the story of the show. That was the plot of the show. Very basic plot. And this show has just turned that basic plot way, oh my, just into something that was way too much. It's becoming way too much. So, first of all, let's talk about season 1 of My Hero Academia. Going into the season, I was like, okay, what's this new anime? And I seen the Naruto like references. I feel like it was a lot of Naruto like stuff in here, the underdog and him wanting to become the number one hero and just become the man. So first season, you get a small group of cast of kids. I don't really know most of them, but you get Bakugo, those characters. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is cool. You get cool superpowers and stuff like that. First thing I was kind of already mad about, Midoriya getting a quirk. Him just getting All Might's quirk. I never thought that was the way it was going. I feel like the show should just been him not having a quirk and him like basically being Rock Lee, basically. Guy with no powers, and he has to use his fighting skills, train and master that to become the guy. And I thought that would have been a way bit more interesting story because he's really an underdog. You can't take nothing away from him, but he gets his quirk from All Might. That's kind of the first thing I'm already mad about. But season 1's cool. You get a villain, they come in, All Might comes in and just starts throwing hands, and that's the end of the first season. Beautiful, beautiful season. They did their thing with that. So then you get to season 2. Season 2, you learn more about the kids and you get a training arc. Training arcs are always fun, man. This is one of the best training arcs. You get epic fights. Todoroki's a standout. Great character, very cool fights. You got Midoriya doing his thing, Bakugo's killing it. They all doing their thing. The annoying villains aren't around because eventually the villains get kind of annoying, and that's another thing I think led to the downfall of My Hero Academia. The villains are not that good. Their villains are really mid. So the villains aren't around. You got the tournament part, and then you got the Stain part. Stain was a cool villain, mini arc villain. He's very scary, and he can throw hands, man, and he got swords and stuff. Very easy way to get behind the villain. If they got swords, you're going to like the villain. So Stain was cool. You get to season 3. Season 3 now. This is where the flaws start coming in. You got filler arcs. They started to add some filler stuff to the storylines. You got the season 3 camp part. Cool. All Might versus All for One. Fire. You got the stuff where Bakugo gets captured. Cool. All of that was cool. But then after that, you get this stupid arc where the characters had this another little mini school versus school arc where they gotta tag each other and hit each other with these like balls. But that was just like, what are we doing? Can we get back to the serious stuff? Let's get back to the fighting and all that stuff. And then the season ends with All Might fighting All Might fights Bakugo and Midoriya. That was cool, but it was still like, okay, can we get back to the serious fighting stuff? Season 4 goes to Overhaul's part. Overhaul was a cool villain, really short though, but Then after overhaul, you get a filler arc, and then you get more filler. Then you get I remember I think it was Endeavor versus one of the no moves or whatever. That was the final part of season 4. It was just so much filler in it, and then they started to add movies to the seasons. That was also like, man, the first movie was okay to me, but then they did another movie where it was like, this feels like filler. And then the third movie was filler for sure, and then the fourth movie is probably going to be another filler movie, and that was where people started to get mad. It felt like, okay, what are they doing? Are they pulling another Naruto again, where you just add a bunch of filler just to make the story seem, I guess, longer or whatever? But it really ain't. They've dealt with that too many times. Don't do it. Season 5, more filler. They use most of the good animation for the movies that they're making, so the season kind of gets messed up, and the animation's kind of whack compared to what it usually looks like. But season 5 starts off with school versus school again. Then you get a filler arc where, well, it's not filler, but it's in the mind, but it's really boring. You get a part where Todoroki, Bakugo, Midoriya, they go to this hero agency and help people or whatever, and it's like, okay, can they fight the bad guys? Then you get My Villain Academia, and then they cut down the animation, and it's not as good as it could have been. So that part was kind of okay. This kind of whack. And season 5 just ends with them talking about, okay, there's gonna be a war, and yep, that's how the season ends. It was more filler. Season 6, I thought it was really good. Season 6 was really good because you got a lot of fighting, and then you get the Midoriya dark arc. I think they was like, okay, we messed up really bad. So season 6, they was cooking. Just people don't talk about it anymore, so it kind of don't matter. But season 6, they was cooking. They was making some banger episodes. Really good season. I think people kind of tripping on season 6. But season 7 going into it, man, I'm like, what is My Hero Academia doing, man? Can they get the fans back? I seen that the fans kind of did Attack on Titans dirty for a couple years, but then when Attack on Titan was at the end of it, everybody came back and got really hyped for the show. So maybe My Hero Academia can pull a comeback, and everybody will come back to watch it. I think the main problem is, number one, the villains are not scary. They're really annoying, honestly. They keep coming back and doing evil stuff just to do evil stuff. Shigaraki just goes on and complains, and he's just so edgy. And then my family died. Everybody's family dies in anime. So that's kind of a thing. And then these other villains, the villains that he hangs with, they kind of dumb. The lizard guy and the girl, crazy girl, and it's like, I'm tired of seeing these type of villains. Can we go to something different, something cool? And All Might's not around anymore, so he can't carry the show anymore. Todoroki's kind of an emo, so we kind of don't like him as much. Bakugo sometimes is annoying too, and Midoriya cries, but I don't think I really care. I think I like Midoriya, but that's just a big thing, though. My Hero Academia, they got to figure themselves out. I hope they come back and reach their peak again. And it seems like the manga was supposed to end a while ago, but they just keep going on and on with the Shigaraki, and everybody keeps getting new transformations and new backstories and new forms. It's like, when is this manga gonna end? It's one YouTuber on YouTube, I just keep seeing the same thumbnail. It's like, is this the end of my Todoroki, or is this the end of Bakugo or something? And they keep saying somebody's dead, but then the next thumbnail's the same thing. I keep seeing Bakugo's, is he about to die, or Midoriya's new all for one for all form. And I'm like, okay, is My Hero Academia just doing the same thing over and over again? And yeah, man, I'm just me personally, I'm just kind of whatever on My Hero Academia, but I still like the show. And I just hope people come back. That's the main thing. And one more thing. Keep saying one more thing, but the guy that runs through walls and stuff, and he can go through people and stuff like that, the way they brought him back also kind of made a lot of people mad. He just came back and it didn't matter anymore. That was one of the biggest storylines. It reminded me a lot of Rock Lee, like that underdog, and he loses his quirk, but then he just comes back into war and gets his quirk back. But I can't remember his name, and yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But tell me how y'all feel about My Hero Academia, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Anime Boom, my peace.